Yo, what's good people? Welcome back again to another podcast presentation. On this evening's dialogue, I want to talk about the delusions of ugly people. That's right, the delusions of ugly people. For some strange reason, it seems like people have, or they feel like they have, the same dating roles as those that are more attractive. I'm going to pinpoint where that is one of the biggest fallacies in the world. As always, I'm your man, Yosef X, and I welcome you back again to another podcast presentation of Yosef's Two Cents. Sit back, unwind, and let us reason together. We'll be right back in a few moments. All right, welcome back, ladies and gents, again to another podcast presentation. I'm happy to have you with me tonight. Brother Barron, I see you on the Facebook side. I'm just not able to bring you up on the screen, but I see you and I thank you for joining us tonight as always. I'm still trying to work on getting you back on where I can see you also on my platform here. Lady Marla, good evening to you, my dear. Thank you for joining us as always. I hope you all are having a beautiful and fantastic Sunday evening. I hope things are well with you, as always. And we are multi-streaming on Facebook. We are on YouTube, and we are recording on Anchor, and we are also on Spotify. I want to say this right quick. Now, the thesis tonight, it may sound insulting, and I'm not really trying to insult anybody, but there's a reason that I want to talk about the delusions of ugly people, in particularly the behavioral patterns, the toxic behavioral patterns of the American woman. Not just the American so-called black woman, but I'm talking about the American woman in general, or the American female in general, period. You see? Because I keep hearing and I keep reading about how unattractive women are thinking that they can have, or they do have, the same dating woes as somebody that's more appealing and more easy on the eyes. The reason why I wanted to talk about this subject tonight is because of a brother who was a first-time listener, Brother Sam James. He is the son of Elder and Sister James. Wonderful people. Wonderful, wonderful people. And he was encapsulating his experience that he had with some unattractive American black woman, gonna call herself, gonna shoot her shot with him by inviting both him and his father to stay at her house while Elder James was on tour preaching. And I don't remember all of the descriptions that Brother Sam presented to us, but I can tell you she was a struggle bot. In other words, to use another terminology used by my homeboy, Brother Warren Rich, she was a struggle face. And on top of that, she was overweight. She was obese. So when you have a situation like that, I have to tell you, the reality is that it brings or raises awareness that people really don't want to talk about. But you know me, I talk about it because that is the elephant in the room. And how are we going to get better as human beings if we don't talk about things that needs to be addressed? On the Facebook side, Brother Barron says, the internet has given them a filter to change their looks to become more attractive. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I know exactly what you're talking about. There is a filter on TikTok, and it allows for people to look like, or to give them a glimpse, according to AI, artificial intelligence what they looked like when they were younger. Lo and behold, I got to tell you, I tried that out on myself, and guess what? It is absolutely shocking. It is absolutely frightening. Let's see who else has just joined us. Good evening, Sister Cynthia. Thanks for joining us tonight. Happy to have you with us. There is a filter on TikTok, and it's called the teen filter. On the top, because of artificial intelligence, it will allow for that person to have a filter to make them what they used to look like. And at the bottom of it, you'll look like who you are. And man, I got to tell you, I'm not going to lie to you. I have aged very well. I'm not going to lie to you. I have aged well. The only thing that's different about me is that I no longer have my wavy hair. I don't have any hair anymore. My waves are long gone. I'm a cue ball now, and I'm rocking the salt and pepper beard. Other than that, I look the doggone exact same way. Just more gray hair, and I'm a cue ball. That's it. Brother Barron says the other is called the glamour filter. Okay. I am familiar with the teen filter, and I think I heard of the glamour filter as well. So here's the deal. What does this have to do with our thesis tonight? Because I was listening to a podcast briefly where people were reacting to the teen filter, according to artificial intelligence, of course. And the reactions from the women versus the men, total and complete contrast, totally different. On the men, they were like, whoa, they were more like, they were interested. It was like, whoa, this is pretty dope here. You know what I mean? This is pretty dope. This is interesting. And then you had other men like, man, I look the same, man. I still look the same. I still look the same. They had the same reaction I did. I've aged well. You know what I mean? But the women, not so much. I mean, the women started boo-hooing and crying and slinging snot, all because of this teen filter on TikTok. And the title of that commentary that I was listening to was AI is crushing the souls of women. No funny business. Now listen, I've already shared with you, ladies and gentlemen, as to why I wanted to talk about this, because of Brother Sam's encounter with what I call a struggle bot. Now, for those of you that say, well, Yosef, everybody's beautiful in their own way. Bless your heart. You don't know any better. You innocent. You innocent. You don't know. You innocent. You're not stupid. Y'all are not stupid. No. You're not stupid. You're innocent. Because everybody is not beautiful at all. And I'm not just talking about externally or internally. You got some struggle bots out here. You got some walking eyesores out here. Oh, yeah, you do. This is the reason why I said a long time back to every beautiful woman in the world, starting with my girlfriend and others. Y'all need to hear me and hear me again. did not tell you, you got to stay away from those women that are less attractive than you. Nadia, what's good? Thanks for joining us tonight. Haven't I said this before? You just haven't heard me say it in a long time. I'm going to say it again. To every beautiful woman walking the face of this earth, starting with my girlfriend, her sister Nadia, and the rest of her sisters, Sister Cynthia, and the rest of y'all, I'm going to tell y'all again. Stay away from these struggle bots. Listen, you all are nice looking women. And you know a struggle face or a struggle bot when you see one. Do not act like you don't. And see, the reason why you need to stay away from them is because, number one, they are living vicariously through y'all. You understand me? You have got to stay away from people that are less attractive. Yes, I did, Lady Martha. See, I did. Brother Barron says, Brother Barron remembers. They are jealous of you and they hate their lives. So because they hate their lives, they're going to try to live their life through you. It's the truth. I've told women in my family the same thing that I'm telling y'all. I said, stay away from these struggle faces. Stay away from these struggle bots, these walking eyesores, these poverty-faced critters. Stay away from them. Bless her heart. My girlfriend kept saying at the time, oh, sweetheart, everybody's beautiful in their own way. I said, you innocent. You innocent. She has not seen the amount of walking eyesores that I've seen. And believe me, I have seen some struggle bots in my time. I've been in this world for almost 40 years. Most high willing, I'll be 40 August the 3rd. And I've seen some struggle bots in my time. That's why I've made it my best to stay away from all of them, because I'm allergic to the struggle bots. And you should be also. See, if y'all really pay attention, I'm saying it in a comical fashion, but if you really think about it, I'm making sense. I'm walking up your avenue. If you really think about it, I'm making a lot of sense. See, Nadia says, my sister have a different eyesight from others. She innocent. She innocent. But I'm going to tell you something. I think my tutelage is working. My tutelage is working. See, Nadia, you and I, we know struggle faces. We know struggle bots. Yeah, we do. We know struggle bots. There is as a matter of fact, I just recently discovered that there is a new breed of Decepticons. And for those of you that are fans of Transformers, like Beast Wars and Transform, the whole franchise, you'll know what I'm talking about, especially when we were younger and we used to watch Beast Wars, Transformers, the Maximals versus the Decepticons. Well, there's always been a breed of Decepticon that was unnamed. And that's where I came up with the term struggle bot came from. Since my homeboy used the struggle face, I came up with struggle bot. And they are the Decepticons. And every time you see them, they'll actually will say without saying it, struggle bot terrorize. And believe me, they have been terrorizing our eyes for a long time. So, Marla, Nadia, Giselle, if you happen to listen later on, Fatima, Sister Cynthia, and others of y'all that that's listening and may be listening to me, you better listen to me again. Stay away from these struggle bots. Stay away from them. Brother Barron is spot on. He says tainted. That's exactly what they are. They tainted. And see, it's almost sheer lunacy, right? For somebody that's not even on the order in terms of looks, to think that they can have the same dating woes as the ladies that I mentioned. It's the truth. In all truth and in all sincerity. See? But I wanted to share this subject, this thesis, because the reality is that it all goes back to what Brother Sam described. See, he was with his father touring. His father's a minister. And he shared with us last week how one or several of them that was fat, out of shape, unattractive, were shooting their shot, inviting both his father and him to stay with her while he was preaching in respective cities. It was a good thing that they continued to stay at their hotels, because here's the deal. Let's say they did take them up on their offer. Think about this. What if Elder James and his son, Brother Sam, what if they did take them up on their offer? And the way these toxic females like to lie on men here in the United States, that leaves the door open, right? It leaves the door wide open for them to have their reputations sabotaged over a lie, because that would leave the door open for them to be falsely accused of sexual misconduct. And so, right, you know what I'm talking about, right, Brother Barron? You thinking about this, right? Listen, we all know the psychological apparatus as well as the psychological hygiene of these toxic dames. And see, the thing is too, pay attention now, the thing is also, this was made a matter of public record by these toxic feminists that they didn't give a you know what. They didn't give a damn whether a man was innocent or not. The objective was to destroy, obliterate, annihilate, and assassinate the character and the reputation, and sometimes even kill the man themselves all in the name of feminism. And it's gotten to the point now where even talking to a woman, whether it is professionally, you could even say hi or greet one of them. Guess what? They're going to squall out sexual harassment. I didn't feel comfortable with him saying hi to me. Heifer, are you that doggone delusional? But see, let me stay on topic here. We're talking about the delusion of unattractive women. See, here's the deal. Nadia says she'll try to convince you that all women are beautiful. She stopped doing that a long time ago. Lady Marla, I love you, but you innocent, darling. I still got to work on you a little bit. And my tutelage is working. I might add, my tutelage is working. It's working. It's working. But see, here's the deal. The reason you guys are probably wondering, well, why is it, right? Why is it that these women are thinking foolishly now? Thinking. Why are they foolishly thinking that they have the same dating woes and the dating options as a beautiful woman? Let's start from childhood. All right. Let's start from childhood. Women, for the most part, have been coddled and cuddled for so long. The fathers and the mothers of these women failed to teach them about being a realist in a realistic world. You have more idealists than you do realists, meaning you got people that thinks more idealistically or wishful thinking than those that are being realistic. And because you have more people that thinks more idealistically instead of being honest with themselves and being realists, the end result of it is they go throughout their sojourn of life operating off of wishful thinking until they get a heavy dose of reality and it smacks them in the face. Then they're looking around looking foolish. See? So it starts from childhood. Then they fail to understand that everybody talks about equality and everybody is the same. In this context, not a damn soul on earth is the same. I'm going to give it to you straight. Nobody is the same. We're similar, but we are not the same. We're similar, but we ain't built the same. We're similar, but there is absolutely nothing the same about us. Not in this context. Not in this context. And the fact is, whether you like it or not, guess what? It still don't change the fact that women that are 3s and 4s will never have the same dating options as somebody that is an 8 or 9, or possibly a 10. Possibly. Now, I want to go back to what Brother Barron just said a few minutes ago. He says these guys got those types of females' head blown up. That's another reason why these dames are as delusional as they are. See, that's why a lot of people don't like me. That's why a lot of people really just don't like me. People don't like me. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people don't like me. Truthfully. And one of the reasons why they don't like me is because I say things that people only think about. And they talk about it in private circles. They don't ever talk about it in a public setting like this, where I can be heard worldwide. Think about it. And because I'm one of very, very few that is willing to talk about this, that is the reason why myself and others like me are not liked. We're hated. We're despised. And we are looked upon as being the villain. You're right again, Brother Barron says, and gets upset when someone tells them the truth. Exactly. Exactly. Brother Barron continues, my wife's female friends don't like me and I don't give a damn. You know why they don't like you? Because they know good and hell well you're protecting your wife from their shenanigans. Listen, my buddy Nadia, listen, I know she's with the shiznits. We 2 peas in a pod. We like talking about folk. I can envision Nadia and I sitting in a church and I ain't preaching. And she hits my she hits my shoulder and she said, brother-in-law, look at that struggle face. That's the worst kind I've seen. I can and don't, I wouldn't make it no better because I would pull out some miniature binoculars and I would decipher to see the degree of ugly that person really is. I'm joking, man. I'm joking. It certainly would not be at the church, but it would be in another setting. But it wouldn't be at the church. I'm joking. It wouldn't be at the church. See. I'm joking. It wouldn't be at the church. I'm joking about the church part. You know. But seriously, when you have dudes that we colloquially call simps, but the actual urban terminology is kleptogamists, which is an urban terminology, which is defined as a male with sexual predator-like tendencies that will stoop to any level to try and sleep with a woman he's interested in and sexually attracted to, yet that woman does not feel the same way. Yeah. That's how that is defined. See? And even the scriptures talks about kleptogamists. Yeah. It's in the so-called lost books of the Bible. Because when you talk about how a man would fall into error over a woman, that is one of the examples, especially especially in the Apocrypha, when it talks about how a man would err into a woman, he doesn't correct that woman. She remains a wayward woman. There he is. What's good, brother Sam? How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us again. Peace and blessings upon you. I was just talking about you not too long ago, man, a few seconds ago, about how you encountered this struggle of a overweight woman when you were on tour with your father. And that dialogue that you presented us last week gave me the brainchild for tonight's thesis entitled The Delusion of Ugly Women. So I got to thank you, man, for giving me the gem or the jewel for tonight's subject. Yeah. Now, oh yeah, listen, man, I know it was. I know it was an absolute, and I know it was a complete mess. I know it was a complete fiasco, bro. I know it was. I know it. See, here's the deal. And see, here's another elephant in the room that nobody want to talk about. See, ugly people know they're ugly. Ugly people is worldwide. Ugly people is worldwide. It ain't just here in the United States. But see, here's the deal. Ugly people know they're ugly. But they try their damnedest. They try so hard to not even go in the direction, right? To even go in the direction of reality. You got a lot more ugly people in the world than you do attractive people. Just like you got more idiots in the world than you do intellectuals. That's another pink elephant in the room. See, the psychological apparatus, as well as their psychological hygiene, is all distorted because of their genetics as well as their ecology. Think about it. Think about it. This is what they do. This is what happens. This is what goes down. This is what transpires. Brother Sam on the YouTube side says, yeah, they try to offer all types of controlling views. That's because they're acting masculine. In my honest opinion, that is one of the reasons why they act and they become so masculine. Brother Barron says some states got more beautiful women than others. I agree. But you know how my brain operates, Brother Barron. I look at things from a universal scope, a universal lens. Because just like wickedness is worldwide or is universal, so is the problem of delusion. The people that are delusional, you understand? And because they are so delusion, if you really think about it, that in itself is indeed a mental illness. Paranoid delusions of grandeur, that's a mental illness. And if you think about it, it's a very, very severe one, because you got a lot of people that's walking the face of this earth with undiagnosed mental disorders, dare say mental diseases, see, because of their genetics as well as their ecology. For those of y'all that have just joined us, I want to say good evening to you and welcome back again to our podcast. Thanks for chopping it up with us. I'm your man, Yosef X, and tonight we are discussing the delusion of ugly women. See, here's the difference between ugly women and ugly men. See, when a man knows he's ugly, he finds ways to make up for what he's lacking in the looks department. If you think about it, men have always been more realistic than women. Why? Because when a man, as a boy growing up, he was taught to be tough. He was taught to be tenacious. And to a large degree, guess what? It has helped us in our adulthood. We're more realistic about things. Albeit we continue our evolutionary march towards that which is the absolute and that which is final, we still realize some things that we weren't taught growing up. You understand? In this regard, men are more realistic than women. I'm talking about collectively, not individually. But at the same time, understand this too. Even though you have women that are ugly in the world, they too have found ways to make up in the looks department as well. And because they have found other ways to make up for what they're lacking in the looks department, the reality is that's why they are more wifey material than those that are actually 7, 8s, and 9s because of their attitude. They keep themselves well groomed. They keep themselves healthy. They keep themselves in shape, all that. And they find ways to make up for the looks that they don't have. Gentlemen, Brother Barron, Brother Sam, both of y'all are spot on. Brother Barron says, tell it. They respectfully are a real man in all areas of his life. Precisely. Precisely. Brother Sam on the YouTube side says, my dad always says, if I plan to be with a woman long term, look into her family, especially the women. And might I add, the men also. because a lot of these women, truthfully, they don't have or they didn't have father figures in their life. And that's just facts. All right, folks. It is 16 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. What we're getting ready to do right now is we're getting ready to have a brief intermission for about maybe 3 to 5, 6 minutes. And then we're going to come back and we're going to continue our discussion on the delusion of ugly women, not just here in the United States, but also in the world. And I'm going to delve a little bit deeper into how men are more realistic in terms of their looks than women are. I'm your man, Yosef X, pardon me. This is Yosef's 2 cents. We'll be right back in a few moments. Sit tight. We'll be back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Yosef's 2 cents, and we are multi-streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and we are recording on Anchor and Spotify. Happy to have you with us tonight. Please excuse my voice. I had to take my medication, and I had to get a quick bite to eat to take my medication because the change of the weather has got me kind of feeling bleh again. So I had to take care of that right quick. And I got my orange juice here and my medication, so I don't get any sicker than I already am. And please excuse the noise in the background. Got the little rugrats again. But other than that, I hope you all are having a enjoyable time chopping it up with yours truly, and hope things are well with you. Let's get right back into it for the few moments we have left together. Brother Sam says, quote, with plus size women, they find ways to get a man's attention. My friends told me to try a plus size woman because the sex is good. I told them, man, please. You know, I have heard that very same thing. Now, here's something else that a lot of people really don't want to talk about. The truth is, everybody is different. Everybody is different. I mean, whatever floats your boat. You know what I mean? I just know for a fact that I'm not attracted to a plus size woman. Never have been. Never have been, really. Never have been. I tried my hand at dating one back in my early to my late 20s, early 30s. And this was shortly after my wife had passed away, maybe about a year or so after my first wife had passed away. Yeah, man, we're glad to have you to join us tonight. Thanks for joining us. And it just wasn't there. The chemistry on my part, it just wasn't there. You know, it just wasn't there. So, excuse me. So I just say, you know what, this is not gonna work for me. To thine own self be true is what I had to do for myself. I just had to be honest, you know. Um, but the reality is, when you find yourself in a situation where even the dating scene is weaponized, right? Because you have people that have all of these unrealistic expectations as to how a man should be, and he's a real man, he gonna pay my bill. No, that is that's your responsibility as an adult, madam. See, that's another reason. See, there's another delusion. You think that people owe you something. See, this entitlement mentality, this entitlement attitude, that is a mental and emotional disorder. I'm sorry. That's just the way I see it. It's the truth. It's the truth. And the reality is men that are that are worth their salt, that are worth anything, the reality is they're not going to go for it. And that's one of the reasons why the passport bros, this movement, got started. And see, the thing is, too, the passport bros are doing the same thing that these toxic women were doing the whole time, with the exception that these passport bros, the legitimate ones, are really looking for a wife. Whereas women were going abroad overseas, being defecated on, urinated on, and being a 304 slut bucket. So, see, as long as women do things, we just supposed to shut up and take it. But as soon as a man decides he wants to better himself and he starts traveling abroad, then everybody wants to raise $1 billion worth of hell. Man, to hell with your feelings. Who cares about your feelings? To hell with that. And see, more and more of these toxic women, they starting to find out the hard way that a lot of things that we as men who are worth their salt have been saying is the truth. And so because the delusion of ugly women is really because it starts from childhood and they became idealists because the parents failed them to teach them to be realists and to be realistic about life. Then you got kleptogamists, aka simps, gassing their heads up, boosting up their egos. And now you got men that's telling the truth about how things really are. They can't handle it. And like I said, also, ugly women know when they're ugly. They're just delusional about it. They just don't want to own up to it and admit it. Brother Sam says, sorry to hear about your wife passing. Are you planning to date again? I'm dating actually. I'm dating actually. Been dating it'll be 3 years, I want to say this November. Yeah, it'll be about 3 years in November. Yeah. Yeah, man. Been dating 3 years in November. But see, here's the deal. Once again, people don't want to talk about reality. You have more idealists than you do realists. People want people don't want their delusions destroyed. Yeah, man. I appreciate that, man. She's a wonderful woman, and she certainly has uh, opened my eyes to a lot of different things. She's taught me a lot of things. She's reinvigorated my faith in romance again. I'm working on myself more and more every day. But see, here's the difference between an ugly man and an ugly woman. A man will make the necessary adjustments. An ugly man will make the necessary adjustments and will make up rather for his looks. He's going to make sure that he's well groomed, he's well kept, he's going to get himself in shape, he's going to eat the right foods. He's being a realist about himself. He knows what he can do, he knows how to maneuver through the dating scene. He stays in his lane. He doesn't try and overdo things. He's not unrealistic. He's not delusional. He knows what his strengths are, and he knows what his strengths are not. Point blank, period. It's the truth. In all sincerity. That's the difference with a man that knows he's lacking. You're welcome, my dear. You're welcome. Lady Marla says, thank you, sweetheart. Yeah. So when it comes down to a woman that's not so pretty in the face, guess what? Guess what? This is what their delusional behinds will do. Instead of being realist, and more often than not, you will find a female that is delusional instead of being a realist. Brother Barron said, every time you say that, I laugh. Well, when I say what, Brother Barron? What I say? See, a woman knows, an intelligent woman knows that's realistic. A woman knows when she's ugly. She knows. Now, either she makes the choice in saying, look, all right, I know I'm not the best looking thing in the world, but I have other attributes that is going to make me a wife, a good wife someday. And what I'm sorry, y'all. I'm laughing at Bro Bear. But they know how to make up for what they lack. If they're fit, if they're feminine, if they're friendly, if they have a beautiful attitude, I guarantee you, a man will be able to bypass looks. Some men will bypass a look. Why? Because it gets to a point in their life where, as long as that woman respects him, as long as that woman cares for him, respects him, is loyal, man will say, damn the looks. I'll take a 6. I'll take a 5 or a 6 because of her attitude. It's the truth. It's the truth. Brother Barron says, you talking about the ugly women knowing that they're ugly. They do know they're ugly. They know they struggle bots. They know for a fact that every time somebody look up at them, they're going to have to bleach their eyes and disinfect it with Lysol. They know it. It's the truth. And see, this is something that people don't want to acknowledge. They don't want to admit it. But again, we got to talk about it. How else are we going to improve? Brother Sam says, that's what's up. My mother told me to find a girl in church, which I have no problem with a church girl, but she has to be of faith. Yeah, she do. Yeah, she do. He continues, does Brother Sam, when he says, then I might start looking at beautiful women. If I settle for an ugly woman, my mother looking at me crazy. Listen, I know why your mother would be looking at you crazy. I know why. Because she only wants what is best for her son. And it also lets me know that your mother's sister James is allergic to struggle bots too. I'm just saying, man. See, you just pinpointed. You addicted to. I mean, not addicted. You're allergic. You're allergic to struggle bots too. You just raised the question. How can I pick an ugly woman and my mother is beautiful and my sisters are pretty? There you go. 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 Lady Marla says, "Oh Lord, listen. You knew what you were getting yourself into when we got together, and deep down inside, you know I'm telling the truth. Bless your heart. See, and people want to look at me like I'm the villain because I'm saying all this stuff. Well, even though you may or may not be the most attractive thing in the world, it's dangerous for you to be delusional about how things are in your life and how things are not. See, Brother Sam's mother is just like my buddy Nadia. They're both allergic to struggle faces and struggle bots. They're allergic to Decepticons. Shoot. Brother Barron says, my wife had ugly guy friends when I met her. Oh boy. Lord. Oh boy. I'm a, Lord. Let me say this and I'm gonna get ready to wrap it up. It's 43 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Your wife just said, stop lying. What am I lying about? She is allergic to struggle faces. Sister James is allergic to struggle faces. Brother Barron says, man, I was the best looking man that walked into her life. And the result is, oh, she talking about you. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought she, okay. All right. Okay. But yeah, man. And obviously it's the truth, because if it wasn't the case, y'all wouldn't be married. Yeah. So, oh yeah, no, it's all good, brother Barron. That's good. It's all good. It is all good. But as I get ready to wrap up this dialogue tonight, I want to say this. When we have dialogues such as this, right? For those of us that are like-minded in the world, wherever you are in the world, wherever. Sometimes I'll say things in a comical fashion, but if you think about it, I make a lot of sense. See, here's the deal. I'm going to give some advice to to um, to those that are what society deems as unattractive. Here's the deal. First and foremost, you've got to get rid of the delusional apparatus, this delusional mindset, this wishful thinking mindset. Like, yeah, I'm attractive. I can get this dude here, and I'm going to have the same dating woes as this model over here. That's an 8 or a 9. Get rid of that mindset immediately. Stop lying to yourself. That's the first thing. Secondly, embrace how you are created. I guarantee you a large part of your problem is that delusional thinking you have and that attitude you have. You got to get rid of the delusions. You got to. You have to get rid of it. It's important that you get rid of it. And the way you go about getting rid of that delusional mindset is you have to do the work. You have to go soul searching, even if it means you having to go to a counselor or going to see a shrink. Do what you have to do to improve your mental health. See? See, too many people focus on that which is external, but you need to focus on what's on your mind and in your heart. And if you by chance are in an ecology where you know it's not conducive to your mental health, it's detrimental to it, get out of there immediately. See, if you want to elevate, elevation sometimes requires separation. I know a lot of y'all don't believe that, but if you really think about it, elevation requires separation. Lady Marla says, yes, you do, sweetheart. Yeah, listen, I enjoy talking trash. I enjoy making people laugh sometimes. And in my joking and in my clowning, if you think about it, it also makes some sense. He may not act like, he got all of his marbles, but he makes a lot of sense. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. My late father, the late Elder Leon Daniel Horn, he taught me as a boy. He said, "Son, let me tell you something. If you know you crazy, you ain't crazy. If you know you're crazy, you're not crazy. It's the ones that's crazy and don't know it or don't think they crazy. Those are the ones you got to be careful of." If you know you crazy, you ain't crazy. It's the ones that's crazy and don't know it or don't think they're crazy. You better be careful of. And then on top of that, well, in addition to that, rather, you also look, if you know your health, your physical health, as well as your mental and emotional health, if you know for a fact that your health overall is not where it should be, it is your responsibility to improve. You understand me? It is your responsibility to improve on your health, because nobody else is going to do this for you. You've got to do it for yourself. You've got to do this for yourself. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You've got to do this for yourself. You understand? And if by chance you do cross paths with somebody that is willing to aid and assist you in becoming the best version or the ultimate version of yourself for yourself, then doggone it, hold on to them. Now, if they're going to be with you for a season, okay. But the focus, you have to be more realistic with yourself. All y'all complaining, talking about, I want a husband. I need a husband. Well, in addition to you grooming yourself and preparing yourself to be a wife physically, let me ask you a question, especially you wonderful Christians, you wonderful Hebrew Israelites and Jews and Muslims, you you over righteous people. Let me ask you a question. Have you asked and looked at yourself in the mirror and say, am I even prepared to be a wife? No, I doubt it. Here's something else too on top of that. Have y'all even prayed to be prepared to be a wife? Have you? Have you even prepared to become a wife by praying to be prepared? No, you haven't. And until you do the work, you soul search, and you really work on yourself, because it's once again now, it is your responsibility to become the best and the ultimate version of yourself for the glory of the Almighty. Yeah, I talk trash. I make people laugh sometimes. But when it comes down to your humanistical sojourn, you got to ask yourself these important questions. Yes, sir, Brother Sam. I appreciate the compliment. So when you get off the air with me tonight, when you get finished listening, this is what I suggest you also do. First and foremost, you pray about yourself. You pray about you. You pray for yourself, rather. You pray for yourself. You pray that you get better in terms of your character. You pray for yourself. That's the first thing you do. Brother Barron says, amen. Yeah. Then the next thing is, once you pray for yourself, don't stop. See, if you want a husband, if you really want to be a wife, if you really want to elevate, you got to separate. Hey, I almost sound like Johnny Cochran. If it don't fit, you must quit. If you want to elevate, you must separate. It's simple. If you want to elevate, you've got to separate. That means you got to let go of some of certain habits. You have to undergo a metamorphosis of your life. It's the truth. You have to go and change for yourself so much so until the way you start to live for the better is a lifestyle. And you're not doing this for anybody's approval except the Most High. And stop seeking approval from other people. I don't understand y'all. Why the hell are you all still trying to get approval from people that don't love themselves? They struggling to love themselves. They 1 second away from blowing their own brains out, and you start still trying to get their approval? Who do you want their approval for? I'm talking to you women now. You seeking the approval of other women. See, I know why you seeking the approval of other women. Y'all in competition with each other. Yeah, y'all. Y'all are in competition. Y'all are in competition with each other. You are. Keep it going so the blessings can keep rolling in. When praises go up, blessings come down. Listen, y'all need to stop being in competition with each other. That's why you all are always trying to get the approval of one another. Y'all in competition with each other. The only person you need to be in competition with is yourself. You need to outdo yourself every day. It's the truth. Y'all jealous of one another. What the hell are you jealous for? Why are you jealous of a woman that wears wigs, right? Why the hell are you jealous of a woman that wears wigs that look like two-tone possums? What the hell is that about? Where's my orange juice? You women, some of y'all make me scratch my head. I scratch my head at some of y'all. Like, what the hell you trying to get her approval for? Y'all trying to get the approval of women whose wigs look like two-tone possums and their pH balance is off. You all are still trying to get the approval of women that's bragging on their camel toe when that camel toe smell like athlete's feet. What is that about? What is that about? Stop being in competition with each other. Learn to celebrate yourself. See, a lot of y'all really don't know who you are and you don't know what you want out of life. That's the problem. You still focused on the wrong things and on the wrong people. Get rid of that. That's what you got to do. It's the truth. It is the truth. Y'all in competition with each other. And see, a lot of y'all got great potential to be wives. Y'all got great potential. A lot of y'all still do. A lot of y'all had your opportunity and you lost it. But for those of you that still have a chance, you pray for yourself to become a better woman in your character. Then you get yourself in shape and start changing your ways and your eating habits. Just like Brother Sam said, quote, my mother just said, change my habits, which is your friends. Change your friends. Change your eating habits. That's what you do. Yeah. If you want to elevate, you must separate. It's the truth. And see, nobody can do this for you but you. You got to do this for yourself. And if by chance you run across somebody along the way that is willing to aid you and assist you, guess what? You hold on to that friendship. That's what you do. You trying to get the approval of women that don't even like themselves. You trying to get the approval of women or females that know they ugly and won't even admit it to themselves. Stop being in competition with them kind of women, because once you realize who you are and whose you are, I guarantee you'll feel better. And the ones that know they ugly, let them stay ugly. If they want to continue to look like a Cleon, that's on them. If they want to continue to be looking like a swamp donkey, that's on them. If a woman knows she ugly, a woman knows she ugly. She may not ever admit it to you. Period. Yeah, yeah. Stop being in competition with the wrong people. Women, women wearing wigs that look like two-tone possums and their pH balance off because their camel toe smelling like a athlete's foot. They in competition. Come on. And a lot of women, and a lot of you that's in competition with other women, guess what? There really is no they can't hold a candle to you. But you've got to discover these things for yourself. It's the truth. That's what you have to do. And one more time for the road, Brother Barron. If a woman knows when she's ugly, a woman knows when she's a struggle bot, a struggle face, a poverty face critter, swamp donkey, etc., etc., etc. They know it. And that, my friends, is the bottom line. I arrest my case. Well, folks, it's been a ball. But my clock on the wall says that's all for now. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for your participation. Thanks for listening. Peace and blessings be upon you. And for those that are weather beaten and they've hit the wall, their only chance is to have a stronger relationship with the Most High and themselves. But for you younger women, stop being in competition with women. That's really no competition in comparison to you. I'm Yosef X. That has been my 2 cents. Join me next Sunday for another topic that concerns all of us as a human family. Y'all have a good one. That's been my 2 cents. Peace. I'm out.